Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Follow me.
You have to add yourself to the stage.
Oh, okay.
There you are. Now you're on stage.
Now I'm on stage,
Yes.
and there are people out there watching.
31 right now.
31. They, the 3,000 and so forth, all went home probably. Well, we're laughing, but we do owe you folks an apology. We know this started late, and as usual, of course, we are not responsible, right?
Ever.
We never are. And well, it's a long story, but there were technical problems and there were transportation problems, and it was a problem getting Carlene and I together. We were at different locations, and the traffic didn't cooperate, et cetera, et cetera. The usual harebrained excuses that aren't worth a diddly poo. But anyway, we apologize, but here we are, and we're all set. Carlene is set by right here. She probably doesn't. Can you put yourself on camera just for a second? Or I can swing around. Oh, you come in. Oh, here she comes. Now she's the brain. She's the brains behind that. All of this stuff, which means if anything goes wrong, it's her fault. You see.
Right. My fault.
Yeah. Anyway, for those good folks who did stick it out to see if we're actually coming online, yes, we actually are here, and we're prepared to go through all of the raffle prizes, and they're going to be raffled off coming up in just a moment or two. And we have about, as I think the count is approximately 30 fantastic tickets. This is the third time we're doing this.
Yeah.
And each time we do it, we have more raffle prizes. If we keep going, we'll probably get to a point where we'll have maybe hundreds of prizes to raffle off at some point, because people really want to donate to this cause. They really want to be a part of it, and they're sending us some very valuable things to make it interesting and to attract attention and more viewers and all that sort of thing. So it's a wonderful package that we've got here. I thought it was a little bit harebrained myself. I thought about it, but I thought, oh, raffle tickets, that's old style, isn't it? Well, I guess it's not, because a lot of people like to have a chance at earning something interesting and valuable at the same time that they're doing something good and valuable. So, okay, here we are. We've completed our 14th Red Pill Expo. It was, as you know, it was in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was at the Ahern Hotel. Now, notice the word hotel. I didn't mention casino. And so this was the first time I've ever been at an event, much less sponsored an event, in Las Vegas, or even heard of such a thing as an event in Las Vegas that wasn't held in a casino with all of the booze and all the cigarette smoking and everything. And now I'm not trying to put anybody down that likes a little booze now and then or smokes a cigarette, but the casinos in Las Vegas are notorious for an excessive amount of that, and for folks who don't go to those excesses, it's kind of hard to breathe at times, and of course the atmosphere is different completely from that, and the kind we had, where people came not to have a good time throwing away their money, but they were going to have a good time learning about things, learning about how the world really works, and learning about what they can do to make it a better world. And the kind of people that come to that, it's amazing to see the difference. Now, I'm not going to mention names, but there was another event in Las Vegas at the same time ours was going on, and it had a name attached to it that was similar in sounding to the same thing that we are doing. But and it's been going on for quite a while. I've attended a couple of those in the past, and it's a huge meeting. I mean, they have hundreds, as I recall, over 100, maybe several hundred exhibitors and people from all over the world. I think, boy, I'd never compete with this kind of an event. But it was interesting. I got to tell you that why I'm telling you the background is because this time something happened that I can hardly believe. It was a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. And so was this other event in the same town, apparently appealing to this pretty much the same market that we do, probably the same people with the same interests, or so we thought. I was never greatly impressed by it myself, because I thought it was all too much about money, money, money. They promised to talk about, important events in the world and what's happening to our country, to our liberties, to our money supply, to our privacy, all of these things. But when you come right down to it, 90% of most of the focus of the event was how you can make money while the nation goes down the tank. You know, let other people suffer, but here's how we can profit from this. And I never liked that approach. Not that I'm opposed to it. I mean, as long as we do our homework also and try and fix the problem, I'm not encouraging people to go lose money on the process if they don't have to. But anyway, that was the feeling I always had about this meeting. And this time, I couldn't believe it. On the second day, people started coming to our event. From that event, they left early, including several exhibitors packaged up their exhibit table over there and came over to our event and said, could we open up our table here, even though we're not signed up for it? And of course, we were delighted to have them. And it was a shock to me, but it was highly refreshing. And not to put this other group down, because there's a need for that kind of a thing, but it just focuses on the significant difference between the purposes of the two movements. We are really trying to make a difference. We're not just trying to talk about it and use the interest that the public has in all the problems in our world, not just use that so that we can sell something. The only thing we have to sell is an idea that we think that the idea has come, and how we can actually recapture the system that we once lost, and how to bring it back to where it was and move it beyond that point. And it's not about the money at all. Anyway, I just thought I'd share it with you because I never thought I'd see that happen, but it did happen. Isn't that right, Carly? You're the one that told me about it. And she says, Mr. G, you're not going to believe what's happening downstairs there. And And of course, she was right. I didn't believe it at first. And so that's it. I want to thank you all because you are the difference between these two groups. You are the difference. Those of you who came to see us and participated in our event physically, and those of you who tuned into us online, you're different. You're different than most people out there, and I'm just delighted to have met many of you. I want to meet many more. I know we're on the right track. We're doing better and better and better. We're inching up like that little inchworm. We're small. We're trying to avoid not making too much attention. But we do want to make a lot of attention eventually. And we know that's going to be pretty rough because once the opposition recognizes that we're a real potential threat, they're not going to just sit by and let us do our thing. They're going to target us. They're going to try and discredit us. They're going to say terrible things about Carlene, I'm sure. Well, not me, of course.
No, not
It's
you.
you.
Never
It's
you.
you.
I was.
And they're going to say terrible things, and they're going to do terrible things. They'll probably take us offline and close down our bank account. Who knows? They may even decide to play rough. But what the heck, folks? We're in a war, and our founding fathers were in a war to create our great country for us and our great liberty. And I'm just speaking about the United States now. Our battle now is for the world. And every country that's had any element of freedom at all up until this point has had its own forefathers, its own movements to bring about the liberty that they do have. Every country has gone through a lot of conflict to get to the point where we were a couple of decades ago. Now we're facing this cabal. We're facing this elite group. I mean, it's not any particular one group. The only thing that they all have in common is they all believe in the same thing, and that same thing is called collectivism. And they come in all races, they come in all colors, they come in all economic status, they come with all religions, they come no matter what. You cannot identify the people that are ruling or trying to rule the world by any other category except that they believe in collectivism. That's the common denominator. And we're going to stick with that in our battle. We are fighting collectivism. We're not fighting Catholics, Jews, white people, brown people, black people, or anything. We're fighting collectivists, no matter where we find them. And that's what part of our important message that makes us different from just about everybody else in the battle. We're glad to have everybody in the battle, of course, but we want to make sure that our efforts and our targets, our idea of who the enemy really is, we want to make sure that's all correct and not that we're playing into the hands of our enemy accidentally because we're dividing ourselves, trying to fight each other instead of the common enemy, which is collectivism. I just saw an interesting movie, an old documentary last night that was recommended to me by a doctor friend that was visiting me, and it had to do with the Incas in South America, and how Cortez came in, and then the whole Inca civilization was overthrown in a matter of a couple of days by this guy Cortez, who never had any military experience, but he toppled a whole empire quickly. Why? Because his enemy, or he thought his enemy, it was the one he wanted, which was I can't think of the guy with a funny name, a big long name, Montezuma or something like that. Anyway, it's spelled funny. Anyway, the empire was huge. It covered all of the southern continent, and it was invincible, but it was cruel. It was what you might call collectivism in its period. It was absolute cruel. It was all power at the top, and the slaves were at the bottom. They were obeyed. There was torture. There was human sacrifice. There was all kinds of human brutality. And there were, of course, a lot of people who were crushed by that. And Cortez found out that the empire had created enemies. And so he appealed to the enemies of Cortez, and they were legion. They were just waiting for some way to get back at Cortez and his cruel regime, not Cortez, but the Aztec leader, and get back at them and over time. So Cortez just simply recruited all of his enemies. In other words, they were divided. The Cortez people, I mean, not the, I got it straight. bear with me, folks. I get it all out eventually. The Aztecs were all divided because they had been so cruel to all of these different tribes, and they were under control, but they could hardly wait for an opportunity to overthrow their foul leadership. They had the foul leadership, Montezuma or whatever. Keep messing up his name. Uh, didn't care. He just thought he was in control and we could take care of those people forever. But once Cortez came along and said, "Follow me, and all unite behind me, and we will destroy your cruel leader," uh, they went for it, and so the empire fell because it was the strongest empire, but it fell because they had so many enemies sitting around waiting because they were cruel. Now, and then Cortez came and united the enemies who were divided against each other, and they overcame. And then, of course, it reversed again. All of a sudden, the enemies were now Cortez was now very, very cruel, and he created a lot of enemies, and those enemies organized against him. And of course, he was overthrown eventually, or at least his empire was destroyed. And I couldn't help but think we've got to add that story, that documentary, to our Red Pill University archives for historical documentaries because it shows the importance of divide and conquer. I don't care how important, how large, how brutal, how much power an empire has. The higher that power gets, the more enemies they create if they don't have the right kind of a government. If they're all totalitarian, which they always have been, and they are again developing the same way. These people haven't learned the lesson of history. It's this old story. Those who have not learned the lesson of history are doomed to repeat it. And we in the United States and all the Western worlds around the world, the countries around the world, are making the same mistake. The leaders are trying to divide and conquer us so that we don't get together. But once we get together, there's no stopping. I don't care what the empire is, how big it is, what tools it has, what weapons it has. If the people of their slavery ever get united and ever get organized and have a responsible leadership that promises a better world, the empire will be taken over and collapse. I think it's a great message of history, and we need to learn it. And so I didn't intend to talk about that, by the way, but Carlene asked me earlier, well, we want to get on with it because we got a lot of presents to give away and it's going to take a long time. Let's not talk too much. And I agreed, but then of course I forgot.
I didn't say no such thing.
Oh, she tried to deny it. Well, she was thinking it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, she agrees to that. All right. Having said that, though, it's very encouraging. And what we're doing is really important. And we're on the right track. Everywhere I look, I see that there are signs that we're doing things the right way. And I think we're at the cusp now of every step we take from here on out is going to be amplified and we'll see progress being taken in larger and larger and larger steps. And all we have to do is just keep our nose on the job, keep our principles straight, and don't be distracted by money or fame or power, and do it right. And we can make a difference in the world. So thank you to everybody that participated in our event in whatever way they did. It was very successful. I think it's probably the best expo we've had so far. And we've had lots of good ones. But this one, I think we'll have to classify number 14 so far as the most rewarding one we've had. So now we get to the presents. We've had, as I say, about 30 of them. And rather than try and crack jokes and all those things that I did the last time, they were bad jokes, I'm sure. Nobody quit the organization I know of, but they probably thought about it. Why are you laughing? I don't know. Anyway, because she knows it's true. That's why. All right. So here I'm holding up a palette here with all of these prizes. So I think in the interest of time and efficiency, I'll just read exactly what's on here as a reminder to those who perhaps didn't even see the list, or if you did see it, you forgot what was on there. So here we go. The very first one is silver medallions, a $400 value. Well, Here's what it says. Oh, are we able to show those pictures, by the way, on screen?
Sure. Give me a few seconds to figure it out.
Okay. Well, Carlene's figuring out how to show the pictures, if possible, and I'll read the text that follows it. In today's bullion market, there are 5 coins, these 5 1-ounce silver medallions and the custom storage box are worth at least $400. And we all know which way the price of silver will continue to go in the months ahead as the value of paper and digital dollars continue to drop. This great prize is donated by Lynette Zhang, who is CEO of Zhang International. She also is a featured speaker, or was a featured speaker at our 2026 Red Pill Expo in Las Vegas. Bullion medallions like these may soon become the only form of money that can be actually owned and physically possessed. Now, that's what it says. I'll just add my own notation. As far as I'm concerned, and nobody asked me, but I'm going to tell you anyway, I don't think we have the perfect money or the ideal money unless it includes the ability to possess it and to own it personally. Now, just keep that in mind. That does not include digital, purely digital. Now, if digital is merely a medium or a index or a means of accessing something like silver or gold, or I don't care what it is, something physical, something that takes human effort to produce, something which has its own value before being used as money, I don't think it's the ideal money. I think it's too susceptible to being manipulated by the powers that be. Anyway, that doesn't mean that other substances can't be used quite effectively for effective money for some periods of time. But eventually, I believe that the only money that will survive and serve the purposes that we all hope it will serve is money that can be possessed physically and owned by each individual who has earned a right to have it. Okay, having said that, now are we ready to find a winner of this one?
Yes.
All right, here we
I gotta
go.
change my share screens now.
All right.
Okay. And 5179.
5179.
Tell me if you don't see my screen, right?
We see it.
You
I see it
see-
anyway, yes.
What do you see?
I see
Oh, okay. You don't see
5179.
the other screen.
No.
Okay.
So now that's the ticket number. Do we have a name that we attach to it?
Yep. Give me 35 more seconds. 5179
Mm-hmm.
belongs to Miss Susan.
Miss Susan.
Susan W.
Susan W. Susan W., wherever you are, you just won 5 silver medallions and a beautiful storage box for them. Room for plenty more. And congratulations. And thank you for helping us. All right, ding. We need a bell next time. We're going to bell. We can ring it, or a gong. Oh, I've got the big Chinese gong. No, that's too big. Sounds like a truckload of gold or something. Yeah.
Right? They're gonna think we're doing something completely different.
Yeah, it's got a great Chinese gong.
Mhm.
It's got a rich, deep sound to it. Okay, now item number 2, a ghost phone. I never heard of a ghost phone until these folks put it out a couple of years ago. It says Ghost Phone Pixel 6A with a case and 2 hours of migration support. Now that, I guess the migration support means personal help from a techie to get all of your information off of your existing smartphone, if you want to, and load it into your ghost phone. Now, a ghost phone, of course, is called a ghost phone because it's designed to prevent anyone who doesn't deserve to know, to prevent them from knowing anything about your personal life, who you are. It's incapable of tracking you in any way. So it's like having a ghost doing all your work for you. I kind of think the title is clever. Anyway, Mark37.com is the name of the company that's delivering this. So Mark37.com will deliver a de-Googled smartphone running the most secure and private open source mobile operating system available. It includes 128 gigabytes of storage. The company will also provide 2 hours of personal assistance to make the transition from your old spyware phone, and the retail value of the phone alone is $425. Assistance is available at http:// and here's the website, mark37.com, product /MIG ration -support / that sounds pretty bad. Anyway, just look up mark37.com and you'll get to the company that's doing that. So now, and the winner?
Oh, now we'll go back to that screen. Sorry. Okay. Wait, does it have sound? Oh, it's supposed.
5 1.
No, that
Oh
was the
no,
old
not
one.
that's the old one. All right.
Oh, there's a sound.
811.
Okay. So now we come over here.
Go through all that list to
Yeah,
find
I
the
gotta scroll. So it takes me a
boy. You
second.
got a lot of names.
Uh, 811, right?
811. Yes.
That is Robert and Monica.
Robert and Monica.
No, and Monica.
Oh, Roger and Monica. Okay. There's only one Roger and Monica on our list.
Robert.
I'll get it straight. Robert. Repeat after me. Robert and Monica.
There you go.
Okay. Congratulations, Robert and Monica. That phone looks pretty good to me. I think I'm going to do something like that. In fact, I know I am. I've already switched over to a Linux computer. So I'm serious about taking these crooks at their word. They want to know everything about us, not because they're nosy, but because they want to control us. I don't like that. Okay. Oh, here we are back to our good friend Jason Stinchfield, who makes these rings out of silver coins. Most amazing thing you've ever seen. The silver coin ring and a PDF manual for making them, the rings, in other words, as a business. I remember when Jason started making his rings out of $50 pieces, mostly silver pieces. He was approached by a lot of people to say, "I'd like to do that. I think we could make rings and we could sell them." So he made a manual and then started making some tools. And now he's sort of in business. If anybody wants to make rings as a hobby or even a little side business, he's got the manual and the tools for it. Anyway, here it is, a beautiful coin. This amazing ring was made by Jason Stinchfield. And Jason, by the way, is on our board of directors at Freedom Force International. So Jason, he made this ring from a US $50 silver coin. The winner will also receive a PDF manual on how to make these stunning rings yourself, where to obtain the tools that you'll need, and even start a hobby business selling them. The ring will be made to your specifications. Choose the type of coin you want, the ring size, and the birthstone, if you wish to align it up with that, for yourself or a loved one. These are valued typically at $350 to $500 each, depending on your choice of the ring you want to use. This is donated to us by good old Jason Stinchfield, and his company is called Jason's Works. So
and he's
that's
watching.
Pardon?
He's watching. He said hi.
Oh, hi, Jason. Love your rings, man.
Okay.
Anyway, who is the winner of this?
We are ready to go. And 4376.
4376.
Okay. That belongs to Myron G.
Myron who?
G, like Griffin. But
Oh,
just,
G. Myron G is the winner of that beautiful ring. Well, of course, it's not that one. That one probably has been sold and given away. But Myron, you just tell Jason what kind of a ring you want to have converted, and he'll see that you get it done. Now, I didn't look while I was reading. Were we able to show a picture of these things?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, now we come to the next one. This is from me. This is one of my beauties. I love this coin. I hate to give them away, frankly, but I still have 16 of them or something like that left. So I have 15 you left. So I'd rather give them away and put some fire into the Expo. So I call it a rare silver libertatum. That's what I labeled it. Okay, it's a 1 ounce, 0.999% pure silver coin, or they don't call them coins, they're medallions, designed by me and minted in 2007 as an educational token from Freedom Force International to use as symbols on the reverse side of the coin to popularize the principles in the Creed of Freedom. So when you get this coin, you can flip it over, and there are a lot of symbols on the back side, which are talking points to each of the major principles behind the Creed of Freedom. So it's to be an educational tool as well as something that can be used for barter. Okay, only 1,000 were made out of a stock since, and we've been out of stock, I should say, since 2009. We sold them originally from the Freedom Force International, and then we stopped because we got down to about 20, I think, and I wanted to keep some for myself. And anyway, we've been out of stock since 2009, and returned to production in 2024, but without a date. So we have the same coin in every respect available now, as many as we can hope people will want to get, but it will not have a date on it. So the collectible item is the one with the date. So this is from me, and it's my personal collection, and I only have 15 left. So I hope you really appreciate that. The last coin was sold a couple of years ago, actually in 2010. I forgot the date, and that sold for $250 back in 2010 when silver was cheap. So this is really a collector's gem. So who is the winner of this?
Okay. 1 second.
3648.
That belongs to Dr. James S.
Dr. James S.
Yes.
Dr. James S. You just got my coin. I want it back.
We're joking. We're joking.
I'm joking, of course. No, I'm glad to give it to somebody that's a supporter of our movement, because I know that they will appreciate what it represents. So congratulations, Dr. James. I'm glad to see you get the coin. And thanks again for all your help in what we're trying to do. All right, now we move on to, oh yeah, this little baby is nice. It's small but powerful far infrared table lamp for what ails you. Now, that's more than just a slogan. Infrared, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I've gotten to be more familiar with it lately than I was before. It's amazing what infrared light does to the human body. It triggers some kind of a natural repair mechanism, which I don't understand, but I do know what the result is. If you sick people always heal better, I think, is a pretty general statement that's true. They heal better if they're out in the sun once in a while. And it used to be in the old days, I remember almost all of the hospitals had like a sanatorium element to them, where they take the patients who could sustain it, take them out in wheelchairs and set them in the sun and let them get some sunlight. Well, there was infrared and all other colors of light as well. But as the research that I've been running into lately indicates that it's the infrared that's the most healing. Now, a lot of the other colors, or the combination of them all, do other things, maybe more than healing, like stimulating growth and hormones and things. But the healing part, healing wounds and getting rid of infections inside the body, seem to be very, uh, very strongly increased by infrared. So anyway, this lamp produces infrared, and I won't attempt to go into explaining it, except that that's a certain narrow band of red light that comes from the sun. But this one is produced by this lamp, and I've heard some wonderful comments from people that own this lamp, one just like it, and they say it's very, very helpful, and they wouldn't ever part with it. So here it is. It reduces chronic pain and inflammation in targeted regions. It treats specific areas for maximum effectiveness. It accelerates recovery from wounds and burns. It helps to reduce wrinkles. Oh, that's pretty handy. It promotes healthier skin, improves circulation, and much more. It's a $365 value, including shipping, from relaxsaunas.com. Now, Relax Saunas, as you probably remember, is one of our sponsors at the Red Pill Expo. So that's where it comes from, relaxsaunas.com, and check out their full-size saunas that are always on display for testing at the Expo location. By a full-size sauna, what do we mean by that? Is you climb into it and zip it up around your neck, close the openings where your hands stick out, turn the thing on, and enjoy the far infrared heat that comes out of that. I have one. I have one upstairs in my shower. Fortunately, the shower is big, so I can take it, and I really enjoy it. Okay, who is the winner?
Oops. There we go. And 3287.
3287.
That goes to Tony D.
Tony D.
Yeah.
D as in dog.
David.
David. Yeah. Okay. Tony D. Congratulations, Tony. You got yourself a good lamp. Use it wisely.
Well, Carlene made a mistake.
Oh.
It's Tanya. There's an A at the end.
Not Tony.
Tanya.
Sorry, Tony. If there was a Tony D, sorry. It's Tonya. Tonya. Okay, Tonya. You stole it from Tony. Good girl. I hope you enjoy it, and I know it's good stuff. Thank you. All right, now here's this little doll. A picture of this little girl holding up a copy of my book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. And she's the granddaughter of one of our good sponsors. He's been an advertiser for us in the past and a good supporter of everything we do. And he wanted me to sign a book to her as this little girl. This was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago or something. It was a little while ago. And she was so sweet about the book. She couldn't read a word, but I spoke to her on the phone. She says something like, "Thank you. When I'm grown up, I will read the book." Anyway, I talked to this fellow the other day. He says I think she's 18 years old now. And he says she's a honey. And she has read the book. So, and likes it very much. So it made me feel good. Anyway, it's not the girl. We're not raffling off the girl. She's now 18. She doesn't look like that. She's gorgeous, I understand. But she's a cute little doll here. Anyway, it's a book. It's a hardbound 5th edition autographed by me. The book that has awakened millions of readers around the world and motivated them to join the global coalition for monetary reform. It's shown here, proudly here holding the book is the sweet granddaughter of one of those crusaders. Grandpa requested an autographed copy to her for when she is old enough to read and understand it. What a great gift. $51 value, including shipping, from realityzone.com, which is our own beloved little bookstore.
My favorite.
Yes, your favorite. Yeah, it's your baby. You run it. Don't ever try and pull anything in realityzone.com Carlene will come and get you. And she's very, very possessive about that website.
Your book changed the world. We need it to stay available.
Well,
So,
yeah, well, it's in good hands, I'll tell you. All right, the winner.
Do you see it? The screen or no? Yes. Okay. And here we go.
2870.
Charlie M.
Charlie M. Charlie M. Tick, 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 tock, tick, tock. Charlie M. Okay. Well, Charlie, you know who you are. You just won yourself a book. And if you don't like it, I'm going to send the mafia after you. Got to like my book. It's required. No, I hope you do enjoy it. Most people do not enjoy it exactly, but they appreciate getting the information because the typical expression I get is that changed my life. It just thrills me when I hear that. And I hope that it generally changes their lives for the better. As far as I can tell, it does. But it means that they're probably not being taken as suckers quite so much by their political leaders as they used to be. Anyway, that's the purpose of the book. So I hope you enjoy reading it, and thank you for supporting us. Next, we're still with Reality Zone now. All right. Back to Carlene's operation. $75 credit at realityzone.com. Are you sure we can afford that?
Yes, for your people, we can afford anything.
Oh, well,
maybe.
Maybe. Can we reduce it to 65 maybe? No, wouldn't dream of doing that. I wish we could do more. So anything that's in realityzone.com, and there are a lot of, how many would you say?
We have over 100 titles of books, audios, and videos on alternative health, freedom, and political issues. Many of them are the esteemed archive work of G. Edward Griffin.
Well, most of my stuff is in there, yeah. At least what's in print. And but it's all the good stuff that we recommend. So if you're interested in where we get our information, a lot of it is right there in that collection. So somebody just won three $25 credit vouchers, added up to $75 credit toward the purchase of any book or recording, both audio and video, on a wide variety of reality topics. Freedom issues and natural health are the main focus, but there are many others as well, including ancient Earth history, unexplained phenomena, scientific puzzles, feats of great human achievements, and many more. The credit is in 3 parts, so you can give all or part of this prize to a friend. Okay. All right. And the winner is $791.
Go back way. Leona. Yes.
There's only one Leona?
Leona M. I'm not giving out their last names
for their
privacy.
No. Yeah, of course. Leona M as in mother. Congratulations, Leona. You just got 75 smackaroos worth of product there. All right. Next one. Tickets for 2 at Anarchapulco. Well, I guess most of you have read these descriptions, so you already know this, so I'll go through it quickly. Anarchapulco is an annual conference held in Acapulco, Mexico, founded in 2015 by Canadian entrepreneur and activist Jeff Berwick. By the way, I've been invited to speak there on 2 occasions, and it was quite a major event and very large and well-informed audiences. Anyway, the event promotes voluntarism, individual sovereignty, with focus on natural law, homesteading, cryptocurrency, resistance to excessive state authority, and central banking. It is a gathering of those with a fierce sense of independence and self reliance who believe that governments in general have become little more than crime syndicates that cause far more problems than they solve. Tickets provided by Jeff Berwick. Thank you, Jeff, for doing that. You put on a great event, and I hope sometime I'll get back to another event if you'll have me. Anyway, that's it. Somebody's going to enjoy this, and who might that be?
I'm getting there. Sorry, I got a glare.
791.
No, that was the last one.
Nope, last one. Cancel. 5398.
Okay, and that belongs to. Come on,
5398.
Steve E. Like Eastwood.
Steve E. Like Eastwood. Steve, you just got yourself 2 tickets to Anarchapulco. You're going to have fun down there. Great people. They like to party. So if you don't like parties, don't go.
Don't say that.
Everybody likes parties. I do. Anyway, it's a great event. Now you get a lot of good information there, and it'll make you think. So that's it. Thank you, Jeff, for providing the tickets, and congratulations on winning it. So, all right, that takes care of that. And now we move to the next one. We're back to those silver libertatums again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the coin I was just talking about earlier, except this one is the same thing, but without the date. So we're in production on those now. It looks exactly the same. It's originally minted in 2007, as I mentioned before, as an educational token, using the symbols of on the reverse side to popularize principles in the Creed of Freedom, but none have been minted since 2009. At the request of my request, they were returned to production in 2024 by First National Bullion and are available once again, but without a specific date. 6 winners will receive one of these libertatums, and they are donated by First National Bullion, and of course by me also. So anyway, great coins, and so there are 6 of them, so we got to go through that.
We're gonna do it 6 times.
6 times.
A chance to change screens. I brought my own pencil.
Oh, well, I had a pencil. Here's one.
Do you have a piece of paper?
A piece of paper. Oh, no. Now you're getting fussy. Here, just take any
Oh,
blank.
no, there's a printer right here.
Oh, we got it.
Take all of them.
Yeah.
It'd just be easier to write them down than type them all up.
Sure.
Okay. So, can you see it? Does it see it?
Yes, I can see the wand.
Okay.
4, 8, 9. Okay, that's 1.
Do you want? Let's get a name. Come on. 4, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm. That I've already announced that one.
Yeah, I thought you wanted the name.
Oh, well, if you want to put the names in now, that'd be good.
Thomas D.
Thomas D. Thomas D. You just won yourself a beautiful silver libertatum, 1 ounce.
And he's gonna love it. He comes to every event.
Yeah, good.
6104.
6104.
Susan L.
Susan L. Ding, ding, ding. I wonder what silver coins like the Gold Eagles are selling for. Probably about $60, you think?
I think so. Or 62, I think.
$62. They're going to go jumping way back up again. They've only got one way to go, and that's up. The reason I say that's with great confidence is because we're measuring them in terms of dollars, and the dollar has only one place to go, and that's down
Right.
at the rate they're creating them.
Jacquees L.
Who?
Jacquees.
Jacques?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Jacqueus.
Jackeeux.
QU.
Oh, QU.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Jacquees.
if it's you, you know how to spell it.
No problem.
All right.
Okay.
That's one.
2504.
2504.
Almost there. Belongs to Marion.
Marion. Does she have a initial on her last name?
G, like George.
G is in George. Marion G. Congratulations, Marion, wherever and whoever you are.
$393 belongs to Laureen C.
393, Laureen C. Okay.
That rhymed.
Ding, ding.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. And that number belongs to
2257.
Oops.
2257.
Carl G.
Carl G.
Yeah.
Looks like everybody has G as the last.
I know, right?
Are you sure this isn't rigged?
None of them are Griffin.
No.
None of them are Griffin.
Oh, darn. I've been wondering, well, what would happen if one of my family, I'd have to discredit it, of course, but it won't happen anyway. All right, 2257.
Okay. That was 6 of them.
That was 6. Okay, now we go to the next. We're moving fast as the turtle hurdles with a broken foot here. Okay, the Red Pill Expo album, the hard drive album. We haven't talked much about that. It seems like everything else is more important and more urgent. But I love these Expo albums. They're kind of my pet baby because I see some hard times ahead. And I think that a lot of the information that we are now providing on the internet may not be so readily available on the internet in the months ahead. For short periods of time, I hope. But I can foresee that if we have enough disorder, enough chaos, they may try and take everything down off of the internet that we're talking about. So it's important to me to encourage people to have their own copies, at least of some primary books and certainly the expos themselves, because I don't like to brag about it, but I spend a lot of time choosing speakers at these expos. And we don't want these speakers just telling our audience what they already know or just repeating over and over again some horrible things that are happening. We're trying to build a knowledge base for the future so that hopefully this will never happen again. That means I'm looking to create something that's permanent for my children and my grandchildren and their children and grandchildren. And that means we have to get it off of the internet and into print, or at least into albums like this, which are physical, that we can play. Now, even though we can create a bad scenario and say, well, look, if the internet goes down, well, then electrical power goes down too, and it's all over, kiddo. And all of that's true, but sooner or later, civilization, no matter how deep it should go, and I hope it doesn't go that deep in destruction, but no matter how deep it may go, it will recover at some point in time. And I want these messages to survive. And the only way I can think of to make them survive is that as individuals, we create our own personal little libraries of that. That's really, I've never talked about much about this, but that's one of my motives for doing the Red Pill Expos in the first place, is to create this collection of extremely valuable information and make it available in such a way, like on thumb drives or the old disappearing DVD drives, that they're gone forever, I guess. But the thumb drives will probably last forever if you keep them in a tin can so they don't get EMF'd out of existence. And there are ways to do that. And so the Red Pill Expo albums are part of that dream, my plan. So I'm trying to convince you to look at that very carefully with that purpose in mind, because we may be the guardians. We may be the ones that have to take this information and prepare it and save it and distribute it in such a way that it makes its way into the future as well as the immediate present. Anyway, this time around, we're giving away this 2026 album. It's hasn't been made yet, but it's under work right now, and we expect to certainly have it available in the very near future. We've streamlined our process of manufacturing now. We even have our own duplicators in house, so it shouldn't take too long once we get the editing done. And anyway, so here it is, 2026, the July album. Yes, the image is from, I'm talking about the image on the picture here, which was from 2024. Yes, the image is from 2024, but the prize will contain the 2026 Expo in Las Vegas. It may take several weeks to have all of the presentations edited and packaged into custom printed albums, but it's a huge treasure trove of truth and wisdom. 20 hours of information that's impossible to find in mainstream media or government schools. All is recorded in high-def video on one thumb drive that plays on any computer and most TVs. It's a $92 value from Reality Zone, and that's also from us. Carlene lets me have some access to some of that, Bo, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the winner is 6433.
6433.
That's almost at the end.
Hmm?
6433. It is 6433. Deborah T.
Deborah T, as in Thomas.
Yep.
Deborah T. You just won yourself a complete set of the whole 2-day album, Red Pill Expo. Now, if anybody gets serious and wants to collect all of these, we have most of them now in album form, and hopefully by the end of this year, hopefully long before that, we should have them all in packages exactly like this. So some people may even want to get a whole set and make sure they're in the school libraries or someplace else like that. It's a great seed to plant for the future. Okay. Now we go to the next. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the next. Well, this is, we're still back at Reality Zone. Boy, we're generous people. Oh, yeah. Well, we have 4 books here packaged together, and there's 4 of our top selling books, and they're all on the topic of cancer. And maybe a lot of you don't know, but my former life before we got into the Federal Reserve System, I was doing a lot of research and writing on cancer and healthcare in general. And here are 4 books that came out of that cycle of my life, and they're all packaged together, and they're going to be given away to somebody all together. One is World Without Cancer, the story of vitamin B17. I authored that book. Lateral Case Histories is the second book, The Richardson Cancer Clinic Experience. Those are the story behind the Richardson Cancer Clinic, which was operated by my good friend, Dr. John Richardson, MD, in the San Francisco area. And my wife was a co-author of that too. She's a registered nurse, and she volunteered her time to go through the records of Dr. Richardson's practice and pick out some very dramatic examples of what was happening all up and down through his patient list. They were all doing very well. Not all, but almost all of them were doing amazingly well, way ahead of what was happening in the Orthodox world. Anyway, so that was a great book. It's been one of our best sellers, Laetrile Case Histories.
And Madam helped update it in 2005, I believe. And we were able to reach 50 some of the patients. It's very...
That's it. Very good point. Carlene just reminded me. In 2055.
No, 2005.
2000. I mean, come on, Edward. 2005. We tried to see if we could recontact some of those patients. All of these patients that were in Dr. Richardson's clinic, almost all of them, I'm going to say 99% of them, were told they only had a couple of weeks to live. And as a last ditch effort, they came to Dr. Richardson and said, "Do you really treat cancer patients that are on their deathbed?" And of course, he laughed and said, "Yeah, we do, because they all come to us that way." Most people won't try these so-called alternative therapies until they've tried everything else. They wait until it's so bad that they have no choice. So anyway, it's a great book, Laetrile Case Histories, hardcore case histories, right from the hospital themselves. Most of these people lived at least, what?
Some of them were still alive in the 2000s.
Yeah, they all lived normal lives, in other words. None of them died of cancer. And I think there were one or two that had cancer come back in later years, but that's only because they stopped taking their Laetrile and they went back to their old lifestyle. And sure enough, back came the cancer. There were a couple, but even they lived for like 10 years longer than they were supposed to live. So it's an amazing story. And then finally, we have Alive and Well. It's one doctor's experience with nutrition in the treatment of cancer, written by Dr. Binzel. Interesting story. Dr. Binzel was a friend of mine. I had met him through other work we had done, not relating to health, but I just knew him. And when he found out that I was writing a book on cancer therapy, and he found out that I was talking about a substance that comes from apricot seeds, he almost had a fit. He called me very, very cautiously one day. He said, "Ed, as a doctor, let me give you some advice. You're in over your head. You don't know what you're doing. You're into quackery." He said, "I'm a doctor. Look, I treat cancer." I said, "Wait a minute. Did you read my stuff?" "No, but what I've heard from the summaries is just bunk." I said, "Well, would you do me a favor and read my manuscript?" He said, "Yeah, sure." He called me back about 3 weeks later, and he apologized. He said, "Ed, I didn't realize how much I didn't know about cancer till I read your book." That dumbfounded me. And he wrote this book and actually gave me credit for it. I don't really deserve it, except for the extent to which I insisted he look at it. But what he learned was that the facts I was giving in the book were not coming from some dream that I had done a lot of research, a lot of medical documents and studies. And I had a lot of researchers that I was quoting who really were, they were all either medical doctors treating cancer patients, or they were PhDs doing research work. I had the goods. And when he saw the goods, he changed his position and he began to treat patients of his with Laetrile. And he started to save lives. And that's when he wrote the book. He developed a big practice of cancer patients. Were very successful, and he called it Alive and Well. And so that's in here too. It's one of the happiest things that ever happened to me when he told me that story. And finally, we go to the Little Cyanide Cookbook, which is a cookbook, and it's delicious recipes in vitamin B17, which is the common name for the substance called Laetrile or amygdalin that is used in treating cancer patients. And since a primary source of that is apricot seeds and peach seeds and all other examples of the Rhodacea family. I think it's the Rhodacea family. And all those seeds are described in some books as poisonous because they contain cyanide in them. But they're found in foods anyway because they're not dangerous. The quantities are very low. But the reason we had fun with that is because our opponents in this field, the ones that wanted people to continue using the really toxic stuff, chemotherapy and radiation, they talk about toxicity. Wow. But they said, oh, don't do this. Don't you know it contains cyanide? And of course, the story is, I don't want to bore you all with this. Many of you know it. But anyway, the story is that, yeah, there's cyanide in there, in those seeds, but it's not cyanide in pure form. Cyanide is a gas. Well, obviously, you don't put gas into a seed and keep it there, and you don't put it into a pill and keep it there. It's a gas. And in the form in which it's found in food, it's combined with something else. It's cyano something else. And if you look up the designation for vitamin B12, for example, it's cyanocobalamin. So vitamin B12 has cyanide in it. You see the trick? So there are a lot of foods and nutritious foods. You would die without vitamin B12. You would die without cyanide in your diet in the right forms. And they were trying to scare people away by saying, oh, it has cyanide in it. Of course it does, like a lot of other foods. Anyway, we thought we would, instead of whine about the fact that they try and fool people, we thought we'd play the game and throw the ball back and say, here are recipes rich in cyanide, the cyanide cookbook, and see if we could catch attention. And we did. A lot of people said, what are you talking about? And when they flipped open the book and saw what it was all about, then they got the message. And that's been a very good selling cookbook. Cookbooks don't sell very well often. And ours does because we're selling cyanide. Anyway, that's the story behind there. All four of those books go to somebody who cares. And it's 1796. 1796.
Amy W.
Amy
Yes.
W. Amy W. You just got 4 great books, all on cancer. If you read these books and follow their advice, your odds for avoiding cancer just improve tremendously. Very tremendously. Good luck. I hope you enjoy. I think they're all good reading books. When I say good reading, I mean they're easy to read. A lot of technical information in there, but we tried our best to keep it at a level where people could understand it without having to go to the dictionary too often. All right. That takes care of the 4 books. Now, speaking of the topic of cancer, we have a bowl of food here offered by RNC. RNC.
Richardson Nutritional.
Pardon?
Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson Nutrition Center.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the word Richardson is the same Richardson as Dr. Richardson that I mentioned previously. He is the doctor friend that got me started on all this. And it happens to be this is the same Richardson now in the Richardson Nutrition Center, operated by one of his sons, John Richardson Jr. So here we go with RNC, Richardson Nutrition Clinic, rings the bell with this generous assortment of food source nutrition and vital information about cancer. 5 books, 8-ounce seed meal, 8 ounces of seed meal. That means the crushed up apricot seed meal, which contains the substance that everybody's trying to get at. And then 8 ounces of apricot seeds, raw seeds. A lot of people eat those just raw. I do. They're bitter to the taste, But anyway, that's what you're looking for, is that taste. 180 seed capsules, 100 pro enzyme capsules, apricot look skin, revival oil, 100 milligrams of natural peach mango, Vitarux. Oh, it's all there, folks. Too long to read. All of this great food, all of it is nutritious, and most of it related directly or indirectly to that food source that is very, very, very helpful in controlling cancer. So that's you get all that and more. It's a $380 value, including shipping, and it comes from the Richardson Nutrition Clinic. And 5630 is the lucky winner of that one.
RJ, last name starts with an R as well.
RJR, okay. RJR. I can't think of anything funny to say about that, so I just leave it alone. I tried, but I failed.
Okay.
Anyway, RJR, you just received a whole bunch of very nutritional stuff. So good for you. All right, now, where am I? All right. Here are 2 books written by Michelle Melendez. Michelle was a speaker at our event this time and several times before. So she's a return speaker, has a lot to say about many different topics, but this is a little bit different now. Michelle Melendez has been blowing the whistle on the hidden agenda behind the unnatural fires in Maui. Her latest book, The Death of Freedom, is a deep dive into the new type of warfare that is being fought globally, with special focus on mind control and psychological warfare tactics. This is a $54 value, with shipping included, from her nutrition company called blossommineralwellness.com. This will be Michelle's 3rd time on our stage. These are good books. I've read them. They're very good books. You'll enjoy them. So thank you, Michelle, for offering them, and thank you for your good work.
You ready?
Yes, I am.
$11.82 belongs to Adrena.
1182 goes to Adrena.
Mhm.
Adrena
Last name will start with a B.
B.
I can
Like
pronounce it if I
bang,
wanted to.
like bang. That's what happens when you have too much adrenaline, I think. Adrena. See, I can't make a joke out of anything. How do you make a joke out of Adrena? Adrenaline. Boom.
I don't know.
It's supposed to be funny. Anyway, forget it. Skip. Anyway, Adrena just won these 2 books. They're good reading, Adrena, and thank you for supporting us. Much appreciated. Okay. Now, the all-in-one supplement. Cardio Miracle is the name. If you folks have been on my mailing list for any length of time, you've heard me mention over and over again this thing called Cardio Miracle. It's a food source nutrition drink that helps your body produce natural nitric oxide and enhances vitamin D absorbability. Now, let me just stop there. I want to explain something. This is, unless you know these words a little deeper than the average person, when I say it's an all food source nutritional drink, that has to mean it's all food source. There's nothing produced in there that comes out of a test tube. It's all food. How often do you find that in any product that you are supposed to swallow? It's pretty hard nowadays. So this is it's a supplemental drink. and it's all food source. Okay, I think that's extremely important to keep in mind. Anyway, notice the word nitric oxide. Now, people confuse that with another word like nitrous oxide, I think, and that's like laughing gas or something like that. And no, this is different. Nitric oxide is not produced. This product does not contain nitric oxide, but that those natural substances that are in the product stimulate the body to produce nitric oxide. They're precursors to the body's production of nitric oxide. And you need nitric oxide to keep your arteries and your veins flexible and let the blood pass through them. There are many advantages to this supplemental product that are too numerous to even mention because they all relate to improved circulation. And circulation is, without that, nothing works. When you can improve your circulation, especially when you're over 35 or 45 years old, you're improving just about everything in your whole metabolism. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I've been a big fan of this product for a long time, and it does a lot of things that you would never expect. That's only because it's all food source and all that. And I just lost my screen. All those pictures went away. Can you?
Oh, we lost internet connection.
Oh.
Hold on.
So.
Well, it's only. Well, that's your phone.
But we're still on the internet on.
Yeah, but that's on. That's not. Oh. Remember, that's just a phone.
Oh, okay.
Essentially. Give me a second.
Well, I guess I don't need to read that.
Yeah. Well.
But if you can get it on your.
I will.
Anyway, I'll talk about Cardio Miracle just a second.
You just opened a new tab.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
You see? Gosh, what would I do without Carlene? I don't know. Okay, so we're talking about Cardio Miracle. So I guess what I was just trying to say is that it's really important to know that this is all food source and it does not come from a test tube. And I honestly believe that the best medicine that you can think of, it comes from nature and not from man. So I started to use this quite a while ago. I don't remember the year, but quite a while ago. And I had trouble with high blood pressure already when I was like 55, 60 years old. And when I started taking this product, that blood pressure went bingo right back to where it should have been all along. And it has remained there ever since. So I attribute it largely to this product. Anyway, getting back to the description, it dropped my blood pressure, it said. It probably saved his life. Well, that's my life. Yeah, I think it probably did. So it's a $260 value, including shipping from cardiomiracle.com. So who gets that one? You lucky, lucky dog, you. $3199.
Paul T.
T as in Tom?
Yeah.
Paul T. Paul T. Cardio Miracle to Paul T. You'll enjoy it, Paul. I don't know what your age is, but it'll probably help your blood pressure, if nothing else. So I hope you enjoy it. And thank you for supporting us. Okay, now we come back to. All right. I thought it was strange when I saw this donation come in. It's a premium quality toiletry bag. I think, what? Who wants a toiletry bag?
People who travel to the Expo.
People who travel, of course. But I thought this is a funny gift. But then then I looked at the pictures, and this is a high quality item. It looks. I haven't seen it in person, but judging by the pictures, this is really good quality stuff. So I think you're going to enjoy it. So here's my text. Just about everyone has need for several of these gems. You would be surprised that there are many uses, far more than just shaving or makeup gear. They're great for all those small plugs, cables, converters, batteries, and other gizmos you wish you had when away from home. The reason I know about that is because I have a toiletry bag loaded with all those things, and I wouldn't go on a trip without them. Anyway, it's made from heavy canvas and genuine leather. It's an $85 value, including shipping. Donated by Daria Schooler, MD, representing the Beamer Company. It's a nice bag, everybody, and don't think, oh, it's just a bag. It's a handy one. Four, 379. 4379 goes to
Gary P.
Jerry.
Gary.
Oh, Gary P. Okay, to Gary P. All right. Gary, I hope you enjoy it. It looks like a handsome little thing. Wish I had one. Okie dokie. Now we're coming close to the end here. This one is high oxygen water 6-pack. High oxygen water. What on earth is that? Well, it says what it is. It's water with oxygen in it. Pretty simple. But how do you put oxygen into water and keep it from bubbling? I don't know. I guess they have a special procedure. But anyway, it's from a company called Cajun, K-A-Q-U-N. I probably mispronounced it, called High Oxygen Water. So it includes a stable, bioavailable oxygen drink, improves mitochondria in every cell in the body, provides more energy, increased strength, and brain power. Boy, I need that. 25 years in existence in Europe, it says. 25 years in existence in Europe. I guess that means the European market. Finally available in America. Alternative healthcare providers will soon insist on oxygen first to support all therapy protocols because they all work better with oxygen. An $85 value, including shipping from keganwaterdirect@gmail.com. Looks like a handy product to try out and see what it does. If it does all those things, bring on the oxygen. Yeah. $5917.
Yep.
All right.
It is going to be Angela O.
Angela O. Just won a couple of books.
No. 6-pack of water.
Oh, I'm moving too far ahead. Yes. Angela, sorry, you don't get the books. You get the water. Put those books down. All right, let's go to the books now. Somebody's going to win a couple of books from our favorite newscaster and journalist, Alex Newman. Boy, when he delivers a presentation on stage, you better be strapped in your seatbelt because he's flying high and fast and it covers so much material. When you play back his lectures, you're well advised to slow the speed down to about half speed and then take notes. Jammed always with information. Okay, back to the books. Here is Alex Newman's latest book and 2 DVDs that are must-haves for anyone who is really serious about understanding the hidden agenda behind the crisis in government and brainwashing in government schools. Autographed by the author, a $43 value, including shipping. Donated by the author. And so the 2 books are The Deep State Exposed. By the way, 3 books, I lied. 3 books. The first is The Deep State Exposed. 2, Indoctrinating Our Children to Death. And 3, Rescuing Our Children. Yeah, Alex has done a great job in the field of exposing corruption in education. And he's on a crusade to, protect our children from all this propaganda and cultural restructuring. So thank you Thank you, Alex, for making these books available. And now somebody gets to win them. One, 4, 2, 6.
Kurt K.
Chris.
Kurt.
Kurt K.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt K. U-R-T, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kurt K. Kurt K. Kurt K. Okay, we got it. Kurt, you just won yourself a couple of great books. Congratulations. And thanks for supporting our Red Pill project. So that's it. All you lucky people, you won some presents. And if you didn't win, well, don't blame me. You need to go buy some more tickets. That's the only way to do it. No, all kidding aside, we understand that this raffle is an indirect way of doing some fundraising for the mother organization of our project, which is Red Pill University. That always needs money, and nobody thinks about paying the bills. But we're coming up with what we think are some very good projects that will put Red Pill University back into the focus of our work, so you can see what it's doing and why it needs more support. We're working on it. We got to demonstrate that we're worthwhile before we ask for donations. And we think we're making that demonstration now. And the Red Pill Expo is at the heart of what we're trying to do. Behind that is Red Pill University. And behind that is Freedom Force International. So we got all these levels of secret societies. They're not secret at all, but yeah, unfortunately, sometimes they're secret. Nobody knows about them.
We don't want them to.
We don't want them to be secret. So, no, it's a very serious thing we're about. We joke about it a lot, but it's really serious work, folks. And I'm dedicating my life to it. And I know a lot of you are doing the same thing. And thanks for being on the same team. It makes me feel good that we have all these people from all around the world, and we're all in the same tune, marching to the same drum. So thank you, and bye-bye.